Microwave cooking destroys the protein, creates trans fats, creates bizarre molecules that's never been seen before, and then you put that in your body. These are poisons. You will take perfectly good food, and I mentioned this before. You're shaking your head.
No, I mean, he did engineering work on the Triton missile. I mean, this guy, he thinks he's like really God. And if I say anything, he's going to tell me I'm crazy.
Well, what is his background in physiology, biochemistry, and all that other stuff? I meet so many people that are experts. Well, then don't tell them. I hear people's opinions. I'm watching the NBA Finals last night, and Jeff Van Gundy made it. Did anybody watch the NBA Finals last night? You didn't watch the game. The Lakers were playing the Orlando Magic, and the Magic won. And Jeff Van Gundy, who's a coach, and I think he's a good coach, he said, "Oh, all this stuff about nutrition, it's so overblown. You should just eat it whatever you want, whatever makes you feel good." Where does he come off telling people this? And they hear this stuff. I like to watch a lot of sports. They're showing somebody grilling a hot dog or a hamburger in a barbecue, and the announcer says, "Oh, that's going to clog that guy's arteries." Well, maybe if he overcooks it and creates trans fats out of it. But we hear things over and over again such that it becomes the truth. It doesn't make it the truth. A lot of people ask me, "Doc, do you believe in fish oil? Do you believe in this? Do you believe?" It doesn't matter what I believe. Who cares what I believe? Do you believe in gravity? Does it matter if you jump off a roof, you're going to hit the ground and it's going to hurt, whether you believe in gravity or not? Okay? Do you believe aspartame is bad? It doesn't matter. If you eat it, it is a metabolic poison. If you cook your food in a microwave, it doesn't matter how many degrees you have, what your credentials are, if you're an expert or not, it's poison. Heating it is less bad than cooking it, yeah. It's a certain point where you reach a threshold and it actually changes the molecular aspects of the food. It started as food and it's no longer food. Now, even worse, by the way, start with one of these packaged, processed, high fructose corn syrup, polyunsaturated vegetable oil, lean cuisine, whatever thing, with soy, wrapped in plastic, and put that in the microwave. We're laughing, but think about it after what I just said tonight. Oh my God, okay? And this is, someone who's really trying, and I give people credit for trying to be healthy, but you're getting fooled. You want to have non-processed foods. You want them to be whole foods, as least processed as possible. Fresh vegetables. Frozen is not terrible, okay? But don't stick them in the microwave, okay? They're even telling you what to do. You go to the supermarket, microwave spinach. Like you have no choice. You can't just open the bag up and eat it raw. You can't cook it, in a little butter or coconut oil. No, you got to microwave that stuff. Well, actually, I've broken the rules. I actually open that stuff and cook it. Yeah, I'm a bad boy. But stay away from that. Yeah, cooking stuff in the microwave in plastic is not a good idea. The plastic itself is a very toxic product. We didn't even get into that tonight. It has estrogenic properties, very, very bad. And that will get into your food and make it worse. Another thing, 1 second. Aluminum, generally regarded as safe, gets into our food. It's actually put in our food. It's put in a lot of commercial table salt. It's in commercial baking powder. It's in antacids. It's in deodorants. Our foods are being packaged in aluminum. We have aluminum cookware. Very, very bad mineral to have in excess. The curve for that is pretty low. You want to keep aluminum out of your system. How do you reheat your food? I'll tell you how I reheat my food because I eat leftovers. I cook with gas. I get a frying pan and I put a little butter in there and I put it, or whatever, or olive oil, and I'll gently heat it in the pan. It doesn't take very long. And those of you who watch me when I work in the ER, I will bring my food, and I'll, believe it or not, I'll eat that stuff room temperature. I'd rather eat it room temperature than stick it in the microwave. Oh, well. That's a very good question. And I have a lot of patients that are vegetarians. And, you know, there's this thought out there that vegetarianism is healthy. And there are studies that show that vegetarianism is less bad than eating junk food. That's what those studies show. If you have someone who's eating garbage and you make them a vegetarian and they eat actually healthy vegetables, they're healthier than they were eating junk food. But is vegetarianism healthier than eating whole, less processed foods? And the answer is actually no. What country are you from, sir?
India.
Okay. There's a health food in India that in this country it's considered unhealthy. It's called ghee.
Ghee.
Do you use ghee?
Yeah. Make it at home.
Good. Well, that's the answer. Because ghee, let me tell you what ghee is. Ghee is considered a health food in India. It's basically clarified butter. It's butter with all the carbohydrates taken out of it. It's pure cholesterol and pure saturated fat. In India, it's considered a health food. And a lot of the Indians, they'll eat vegetables and bread and ghee as basically their entire diet. They come to this country, a lot of them, and they stop eating ghee. And they get very, very sick because they come here and they go, oh my God, this is butter. This is bad for me. I better not eat it. So they make that one change, and it's very, very bad for them. They start eating more and more of the carbohydrates to make up for the fact that ghee is the log on their fire, and it helps stabilize their blood sugar and actually feeds their adrenal glands. So I recommend, do you eat eggs?
Yeah.
And cheese?
Yeah.
I would recommend that you eat eggs and cheese with every meal as much as you can, and eat plenty of ghee, and that will be helpful. So you look like you're fairly healthy.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, let me just talk about cholesterol for a minute. Cholesterol, here's a molecule. This comes out of could come out of a biochemistry book, but it's this molecule. And I showed this before, how it becomes pregnenolone, all these other hormones, because of this particular shape. Vitamin D, by the way, also comes from cholesterol. It is the source of all the sex and adrenal cortex hormones in your body. So it's actually very important to eat some cholesterol in your diet. It's not one of these, it's not a poison. And you notice I didn't talk about cholesterol tonight as a poison. We've been told it's a poison. The original studies that came out about cholesterol and saturated fat were done on rabbits. If you feed a little bunny rabbit butter, his cholesterol will go up and his arteries will get clogged. This does not necessarily happen to humans. Don't get me wrong, there are some humans that should be very careful with cholesterol in their diets. There are also other humans that really need to consume a fairly good amount of cholesterol and saturated fat. And how to distinguish between those two would require some sort of diagnostic procedure, but cholesterol itself is not, it can't be because of where it comes, of what it does, and the antioxidant properties that it has. I have like 100 slides here on all these different scientific studies. I don't think you guys want to see them all, especially in the next 10 minutes. But studies on low-fat diets lowering your testosterone level, for example, and high-fat diets having the opposite effect. So how soy actually raises your estrogen levels and lowers testosterone. And there's studies on the fish oil, how fish oil actually causes oxidative stress. A bunch of articles on fish oil leading to oxidative stress and other polyunsaturated oils. So everything I've told you, I could actually give you the references and show you where a lot of this stuff came from. This actually shows how fish oil actually suppresses your immune system. It does have anti-inflammatory properties, but how does it work? Well, part of it is it actually blocks omega-6s. Part of it is it actually suppresses your immune system. And they use this as a vehicle for cyclosporin, this one study, and that reduced the cyclosporin dose. I don't want to talk about that, but anyway.